Hi, Anne.
Hey Josh.
Thank you for being here. I have a funny message for you. And, well, they're all funny, right? They're all funny. I want to tell you about a reading that I had earlier today. And I got connected to this woman. And when I got connected to this woman, I could feel her intensity, her larger than lifeness.
Mhm.
And the message that I had to give her is very similar to the message that I had to give you right now. So the message that I had to give her was this: you're a lot. You're intense. You got a lot of energy. You got a lot of power. Okay.
Yeah.
Deborah Fay. Josh, okay to give my hub a message as well? He is on screen too. Yes, Deborah, I'll come back to him. Okay. You keep him on screen. I'm going to come back to him before I end. I'm going to go back to Anne. And when I was talking to this woman, she felt a particular level of loneliness because she had a particular level of intensity. And so the people that she often found around her were also big energy people, big, like intense energy. Okay. Now, the message that I had to give her is the same message that I had to give you. Sometimes that intensity, that strength of character, that power that you carry as a person will push people away. Okay. So the interestingly enough, now here's a little bit of a trigger warning or a warning for the my grandmother's French is about to come into this. Okay. The message that I had to give her was fuck them.
Mhm.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
seriously, like there's in the past year or two something on social media has come up with like that idea of let them go, let them be. Okay, those aren't your people. This message I have for you, Anne, is this: don't diminish your light to try to fit in with people that are mediocre. Okay, so it's better to stand in your power, your strength, your light, and not shrink yourself to fit in with people that are, here's some air quotes, small.
Makes
Okay. So with that, with somebody who's got intense energy, big energy, they know themselves, they know what they want, there's going to be a sense of isolation or a feeling of separateness.
Yep,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay. You've got some big energy, you've got some intense energy. The world is better for it. Okay. The world is better for it. And I think that a lot of people who have power, pizzazz, strength, mojo in that way, there is a tendency to shrink themselves so they fit in with others and they might feel like they're different or outside of. And I say good. I say good. You know, this is that idea of, I was always accused as a kid of not having common sense. But as an adult, I go, why would I want to be common? Ta-da!
Yes, here I am.
Here you are. Okay, here you are. Can I ask you, when I was talking about the Pisces energy, can you relate to that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Are
Yep.
you a Pisces?
Yes. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So there's got to be that connection to, oh, I feel a lot. I got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I march to a particular drum beat. You know what I mean? Okay. Don't change your drum beat. Even if it might feel like you're lonely, even if it might feel like you're by yourself, you don't want to be common.
Mm-mm.
And interestingly, why would you want to have common people around you?
No, I don't. That's stagnation. I don't want that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's boring. It's boring. So remember, uh, what I'm being called to, next to my client seat here, I have a poster with the poem Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson.
Yes.
And you happen to have it. Okay.
I
So
did.
interestingly enough, what I'm being called to is the message of your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. Remember, don't shrink, glow, glow with everything that you have. And if people fall away from you, remember that in and of itself, that is also a favor.
It is.
Okay. Much love to you. Make sure you celebrate your birthday.
Thank you.
Should be coming right up, right?
It is very, very soon.
All right. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Uh,
Thanks, Josh.
and weirdly, I don't know if you have a tendency to be a transcriptionist or a note taker or anything like that, but something I'm being called to ask you to perhaps revisit this episode in the future and write down each of the little lessons that everybody's getting. I'm not asking you to be my secretary or
That
anything
right
like that,
now,
but
actually.
you're doing that right now.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that. I really love that. Thank you. You might want to send that to me via email when we're all through with
Sure.
this. Okay. All right. Thank you, Anne, for being here. I have to go to Mary Ellen Parenteau. Here we go. I'm going to ask Mary Ellen to unmute themselves. Hi, Mary
Hi.
Ellen.
Hi.
Hi. Mary Ellen, uh, I want to ask you this question. Do you have spiritual training?
No, not, no.
Okay. I want to, I'm going to honor the message that I'm getting for you. Okay. Can I ask you, are you local to Littleton, New Hampshire?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So this is what I have to tell you. And I don't, maybe I'm planting a seed. I don't know what this is. So the studio space, the store space that we have here is called Deep Earth Arts. Like when you
Mhm.
see me here, I'm at Deep Earth Arts in Littleton, New Hampshire. You'll know where we are because we got a 12-foot Home Depot skeleton out front and we try to dress it up. That's where we're at. Okay. What I'm being prompted to ask you, Mary Ellen, would you, and now remember, you got to know deep earth arts, right? Spiritual healing, like all of that. I'm supposed to ask you if there is some sort of workshop that you could teach here. I don't need you to answer that right now. I don't
All
need you to
right.
answer that right now. I don't need you to answer that right now. And from time to time, we'll have teachers come in, host workshops. People are going to shortly see a whole bunch of workshops and classes that we're going to start offering to the folks in the area online and both in person. I'm not sure who you are, Mary Ellen, or what you do, but I want you to consider, based on what Deep Earth Arts is and what we're known for and what we offer, how you could teach a class. I don't know what that is. A class or a workshop. That's why I ask you if you have any sort of spiritual training.
Strong beliefs, but not actual training. I
Okay.
have in my periphery that have had training that I consider myself part of their tribe, but not actual training myself.
And you don't necessarily, I'll give you a for instance. I teach a couple of tarot courses, and I've done that, like studied tarot for a really long time. I'm not certified. I believe the information that I have is of value and of use to people who could participate in that. But you don't necessarily need to be certified or have any sort of training. Are you some sort of teacher or a guide? Do you have any of that energy? Do you like helping others in a facilitating way?
As a career, I help others, yes.
I guess the message for you is one, consider that, and two, I think it's important for you to know that, I mean, and I don't toot my own horn when it comes to this too often, but I know the spirits that help me. I know the massive angelic energies that help me do what I do. And I'm supposed to let you know that they apparently think you're worthy of teaching something here at our facility. And what that would mean to me, being that I'm prompted to tell you that, is that you're a person of authenticity, integrity, and heart. And I don't know you, but I know that you would have something to offer people. So if there's a workshop or a class in any way that can be geared towards spiritual health, healing. And I'm also hearing perhaps what I'm hearing is how to make the most of your grief. I don't know if you have any sort of grief training or anything like that.
I don't have grief training, I have grief experience, which I think trains ourselves what works and what doesn't work. And perhaps go forward and assist others, especially my own children, when they've gone through and continue to go through their own grief processing.
Please consider that for me. And I need you to know, when I say this to you, this is not just a Josh message. I would be honored to host you and to help you facilitate some sort of program. I love what Elizabeth just put up there, Grief Ambassador Helping Others. Some sort of program or workshop or something here to help people move through grief. And I think your message today is that you need to know that your authenticity, your integrity, and your heart are worthy of such a position. I think if you've ever heard the term imposter syndrome, you ever heard that?
I definitely have. And I've questioned fairly recently if that was part of my persona. Just briefly, but I perhaps it was, I was having some self-doubts.
So I find it fascinating that I would go to Anne and tell her to be big and bright and don't shrink herself and believe in herself and know that the right people are going to find her. And then I move to you and I am compulsed to tell you to please consider offering something here. And don't feel like that's a sense of obligation or pressure. If you never do, I think it's important for you to know that you could. And that's really important for you to, I think, know that in that respect, you're absolutely worthy.
Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome. Also, I don't know why, but please consider using more chapstick.
Yeah, no kidding. Chapstick and drink more water.
Are your lips particularly chapped right now?
Yeah, they're horrible, actually.
Okay. So I can't see that from here, but consider using it, okay? All right. So much love to you. I'm going to mute you and I'm going to go up to Larissa here. Hold on one second. Hi, Larissa.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, thank you for being here. So my message for you today, and I think that a lot of people can relate to this, is this. You have big dreams, hopes, aspirations, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. My message for you is this. You can't force a seed to grow. You can't force a seed to grow. This is big for tarot people. This is the big Knight of Pentacles energy, having patience and cultivating, and I think patience is important, especially when it comes to working with forces on the outside of us, putting things into play. So your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, the things that you want to cultivate and bring into fruition, cultivate it like a seed. Cultivate it like a seed. And remember that you have a heart calling for a reason, but make sure that you're not disappointed in the process or disappointed with results or disappointed with anything when it's a matter of cultivation. One of the things that I think that's endemic to America and Americans in general is that we have a need for instant gratification. Like, I want what I want when I want it, and I need it to happen now. Okay. And with information technology and the way that it is, there's email like that to people across the world. There's that need to have things happen immediately. I need you to know that the efforts that you're putting into whatever you're cultivating are seen by those higher spirits, but they're asking you to have patience. Okay. And what I'm seeing is like, You can't force an acorn to be an oak tree overnight, that you have to, be patient with it, but don't be complacent. To make
Mm.
sure that you tend the soil, that you fertilize it, and you stay focused on the garden that you're growing. May I ask you, are you an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Okay. The things that you want to cultivate and the things that you want to bring to the world, healing, spiritual, health related. Okay. Do you have a sense of frustration that it's not happening overnight?
Uh, Not happening over years, but yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, microcosm, macrocosm,
Yeah.
microcosm, macrocosm, to find a way to just be patient with yourself. You got a little one on that screen, so you got all sorts of things on the outside of you that are providing variables in this general equation. So again, make sure that you're patient with that process. Make sure that you don't give up on your garden.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Also, interestingly enough, sometimes that resistance and sometimes that timing is the best thing that you could hope for. Because on the other side of it, what I'm getting for you is like, be careful of, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And
Mm.
if you were to have all sorts of work and obligations and client pressure and all of those things, that you might not be able to serve them to your highest capacity. So right now, with that sort of throttle energy, I think that's the best thing for you. Just just remember that that's not a reflection of fate and higher powers telling you that you shouldn't be doing this. I think it's just a matter of you having patience for the process. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
Marisol, for that. Aaron, that message is for you as well. And I'm going to go right up to you and I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself, Aaron. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for being here. You are notoriously forever known by me as Donkey Kong's sister.
Happy to be. Happy to be.
Yay! Thank you for being here. Okay. So when I was connected to Rachel, and it was that idea of, childlike heart. Bring your
Hmm.
childlike heart to the world. The world is a better place when we bring our childlike energy, not
Yeah.
childish, childlike
Right.
energy to
Right.
the world.
Right.
And then as I was connected to Larissa, and Larissa was, somebody, or is somebody who has these aspirations, wanting to make the world a better place, wanting to guide,
Hmm.
wanting to heal, all of that. That message for both Rachel is appropriate to you. That message for Larissa is also appropriate to you. But the interesting part of my message for you, and again, remember, this is for everybody as well as you.
Right.
Don't beat yourself up because you can't solve other people's
I'm
problems.
on there right now. Sorry about him. My husband's walking in the room. Hang on one second. Sorry.
You got it.
He just got home from skiing with my kids, so sorry about that. I'm back.
Okay. So Rachel's message
I'm listening.
applies. Larissa's message applies to you.
Yes.
The other message that applies to you, and I think many people in this call and who will listen to this in the future, is don't beat yourself up because you can't solve other people's problems. Other people's burdens, other people's heartaches, other people's headaches, the frustrations that you might feel
Mm.
called to address. I'm not sure it's necessarily your responsibility to heal them.
I would like
Okay.
to make it my responsibility, but I'm figuring that out the hard way.
Well, I
Yeah.
think people have to at least meet you. Okay. People have to
Yeah.
at least meet you. So
Right.
it's interesting. So what I'm being called to, Aaron, is this. When I was talking to Brandy about her heart speaking to the heart of others in that sort of infinity
Hmm.
symbol, when you come into connection and relationship, I think
Right.
really what we're talking about is that capacity for empathy. When you have a heart to heart connection for others, there is that feeling like, oh my gosh, I can feel your pain. And oh my
Mm.
gosh, I want to reduce it and I want to take it away from you. Okay. I can feel that way for Brandy. You know, when I sit with Brandy in that way, when I connect to her in this way, I can feel her heart. I can feel her pain. But
Yeah.
Brandy can't shrink me down to 4 inches and put me in her pocket and carry me with her. Brandy has to walk around in this world tapping into the wisdom of her own heart. So this is part of that process, that there is that sense of accountability. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people would say, oh, you know, Lord helps those who help themselves. Okay, I get that. But if somebody doesn't want to heal, or if somebody has yet to have the tools or the skills, you can show them. This is like leading a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Okay,
Yep.
that person
Yep.
has to participate in that process. And if that person or people in your life can't participate in that process, that's not a reflection of you, your efforts, or your message.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You're
just
the
make
second person to give me that horse to water message in the past few days. So I think it's ringing loud and clear.
okay. I know the pain of wanting to help. I know the
Yeah.
pain of feeling other people's pain and trying to reduce it, but people do have to at least participate
Yes.
in that
Yeah.
process. They have to show up for themselves. As much as you can show up for others, other people have to show up for themselves. And if they, you know, kind of let go, let God. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
the God
I feel
word.
like I'm gonna be the spark or something. Like that one thing that I might say might be the thing that gets through, you know?
And don't
But
give
it
up on that.
yeah, sometimes it's just by me being me and leading by example more than shoving it in their face, maybe. If
Yes.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Don't give up on that. Okay.
Thank you. I won't.
Thank you. And I think it's appropriate to say your efforts have made a difference.
Thank you. I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so.
Well, it's hard again. I think, you know, the message of not seeing the tangible evidence, not seeing
Yeah.
the
Right.
instant change. You know, you're not a magic wand. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
magic bullet. It's not a magic pill. But it's important for you to know how to pace yourself and know how to make sure that other people's lack of participation in their healing process doesn't become a reflection on you or your efforts or your message. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Much love to you. Popcorning on to the next one. Here we go.
Thank
I'm going
you.
over to
Thank you.
Leola. Hi, Leola. Asking you to unmute yourself as well.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. I feel like this is going to be a continuation of a message that I might have given you recently. I gave you this message about the daycare, I think an episode or two ago, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's take the pen out of the daycare itself as that title or what have you. Remember, this message is for you as well as it is for everybody else. You have something inside of you that needs to prove yourself to yourself. You need mountains to climb. And what I'm getting is that I do not believe that you're challenging yourself enough. Okay. I don't know what those mountains are. Too many people are caught up in proving themselves to others. Too many people are caught up in proving themselves to the universe or to God or what have you. You are a particular individual, Leola, where you have to prove yourself to yourself. And I have this question for you. What's your mountain? What is your mountain? What is your mountain? And I believe that when you get to the top of a mountain and you get to the top of a project and you have that sense of accomplishment or whatever it is, you're the type of person that's going to need another mountain.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are a figurative mountain climber, and a lot of people are, they need to projects and they need to prove themselves to themselves. That's wonderful. The world is so much better because people have that inside of them, that fire to strive and to grow and to produce and to contribute. What's your mountain? What's your challenge? And if you're feeling complacent or stagnant, I believe it's because you're not challenging yourself enough. I'm not sure that's appropriate to everybody. I do believe that's appropriate to a few people because there's people that need to prove themselves to themselves. I have a little bit of that. I have a little bit of that. I want to strive. I want to, this podcast is part of that. Like I want to do, I want to build, I want to create, not necessarily for others. And I love that others get something out of it. But for me, I have that. It's interesting that the words that just came into my mind are soul program. What's your soul program? If your soul had a program walking into this world, what is that? Touch base with that. Touch base with that.
Okay.
Okay. So, are you tickling upon an idea? Are you like playing with an idea, something?
I think we've talked about this before. My husband and I have been thinking about making a major life change.
Are you, is that a challenge or is that just a change?
Uh, it could be a little bit of both.
Okay, whatever that is, move forward. Okay, so you get rid of any sort of sense of stagnation or disappointment in oneself. Okay, interestingly, I'm going to put you on mute and I'm going to go to, where is she? Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline. I'm going to unmute you. Hi.
Hi,
Hi. Jacqueline or Jackie?
Jackie's good.
Jackie's good. Jackie, your message dovetails with Leola's, and here's why. I think that there is something inside of you that's very similar to Leola. A fire, a drive, a wanting to produce, a wanting to accomplish. But I also get, not because you're laying prostrate, not because you're just laying down like you're comfy like that. There's this message that we have to come to peace with the outer circumstances that might limit that drive and that fire. That there are things that we're going to be dealing with in our body, in our life, outside of us that might not line up with that fire of our will. It's interesting that I would have to say, like when I talk to Leola, right? Passion, fierceness, drive, moving, having to prove herself, having to challenge. When I go to you, it's a continuation of that, but the message that I have for you is that the spirit is willing, but perhaps the flesh is weak. And that can provide a sense of struggle or challenge or frustration for us. Okay. Make sure that you're at peace with that. And these are all stories coming one after another with Erin, making sure that she's okay and at peace with how other people are on the outside of her, that it's not a reflection of her inherent character, that she's, for you, if there is an outer circumstance that is limiting to you, that's not part of your spirit, that's not part of your drive or your will or your passion, that make sure that doesn't become a reflection of your worth or your character or your anything, that it's sort of that, not necessarily for you, Jackie, but for everybody. I think in like the new agey world, in the spiritual world, in our modern spiritual world, far too many people will say something to the effect of, I must be paying for something that I did in a past life. That's victim blaming. That's a victim attitude. That's not how karma works. That's not how one life leads into the other. And far too many people have that attitude. So make sure that if there are external circumstances or limitations in your life, that you understand you're not being punished. And it's interesting because now I'm being like guided back to Larissa's message of, hey, there's external circumstances that will limit you or throttle you. Again, not a reflection of your path or the fact that you should be moving on it. And to whatever degree your capacity might be diminished, Jackie, make sure that you know that you are a bright and beautiful light, and that the world is so much better for you in your heart, in your voice, in your song. So I hope you heard that, and I hope that it goes home. And I know that, like, home, right here, I think that a lot of people need to hear that message. that they have this drive and this love and this fierceness, and sometimes things happen to them that, you know, they don't have control over. It's interesting that, you know, I know that we're far removed from this part of our collective history, but so many people that wanted to provide for their family and contribute to this world, so many people did not ask for polio. Do you get that?
Yep.
Okay. So, you know, that's that sort of thing. And the fact that some people got polio doesn't mean that they were less than or they were being punished. The nature of our universe dictates that there is a certain amount of this world that's just random chance, and random bullshit will happen to people randomly. Unfortunate stuff will happen to very good people for no other reason other than the roulette wheel fell on red instead of black. Please take that home. Anybody that's dealing with external circumstances or things that will throttle them back, please take that home. Okay? So thank you
Yes.
for being here.
Mhm.
All right. I was going to put you on mute because I'm going to go right above you to Debbie.
Hi.
Hi, Debbie. Hi. Thank you for being here. Okay. Well, I want to describe to you what I'm feeling when I'm connected to you. I'm not sure our paths have ever crossed before, but I want to thank you for being here, Debbie.
We have seen each other before.
We have?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So I can't recognize you. I don't know which Debbie you are in all of my paths and all of my life, but I want to tell you this is what I'm feeling for you, and it's important that you hear this. So as I'm connected to you, I'm being drawn to the roses all around me. I'm being drawn to the roses that I have tattooed on me. There is a sense of divine love within you, a divine love, that you have this holy, unconquerable, divine love that is in your heart. Are you self-aware enough to know that?
No. No.
Is that a no? Because that's not popping through for me.
No. Right.
Okay. Do you love fiercely?
Yes.
Okay. So let me say that you have this unconquerable, fierce, passionate, holy love. Okay. With that comes a great degree of empathy. You know that, yes?
Yes.
Okay. My message to you is make sure that you limit yourself and your exposure to the pains of the world. Okay? That right now we see a lot of pain, see a lot of turmoil. I'm not sure it's going to get better before it gets, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. Okay? And the important message for you is you do not need to stand in constant witness to the pain and the terror and the horror of the people around you. I think your own capacity for feeling pain and empathy to a hurting world, I think, is enough for you to handle. Okay, so
Yeah.
I am being called to a phrase and I can't speak it. I don't know the entire phrase, but there is a holy book called the Talmud, Talmud, and there's a phrase in it that says, you can't ignore the pains of the world, but it's not your responsibility to cure them. Or something to that effect. Like you can't ignore the pains of the world, but you're not going to fix them by staying in constant, like bearing witness to them. Okay. So there's a lot of people that are upset right now because of the political climate and the things that are going on. I don't know if this applies to you. I don't know if this is specific to people in your life or pain and terror and awfulness around you in your local circle, but
Yeah. Local.
the message for you is this: it's not your responsibility to bear witness. By bearing witness constantly, you're not reducing the pain, you're only increasing your own. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
interestingly here, I'm going to ask you to do a thing that, where is she? Brenda. I'm being called to Brenda. So, Debbie, I'm going to leave you unmuted. I'm going to go to Brenda's square and I'm going to ask her to unmute herself. Here we are. Okay. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
Question for the both of you is this: do the both of you have old cookie recipes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something for everybody to consider. I think that the both of you are highly empathic. You feel the pain of other people, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think that there's a lot of wisdom in, I think, digging out those old recipes, those old cookie recipes, and making some cookies and maybe feeding the people that are hurting. I think that you're going to put more effort, or you're gonna contribute more to this world if you put your hands on like cookies, making cookies. Get those old cookie recipes out, make cookies, and feed the people that you love and care for. Feed yourself. But I think that there is cookies make everything better. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yes, cookies make everything better. Okay, so look at this process that's going on. I think, Debbie, a lot of what you're carrying around for heartache. And Brenda, I think you have a particular amount of heartache too. I think that there is a lot of similarities in your paths and what's going on for you. You both have these old cookie recipes for moms, grandmas, other people in your family. Bring those out and make those cookie recipes for the people in your life locally. You know what I think would do you all some good, and this would be a particularly good bit of heart medicine? Make a batch of cookies and bring it to a senior center. For
Oh.
real. Make a batch of cookies and bring it to the secretary at the local school. For real. Instead of bearing witness to the constant pain and terror and turmoil of people locally in your community, in your family, people nationally or globally, put your hands on something that will contribute a little bit of a gesture of love, compassion, caring, healing, nurturing in that way. So, interestingly, Debbie, my message for you too is this: those recipes that you have, are they stored away in storage?
No. No.
You got them. I don't know if this is for you, Brenda.
I don't know
Are
where
they
they
like you don't
I-
know where they are? Or?
are. Yeah. I have like that one recipe.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to Debbie. Debbie, this is what I need for you to do.
Yep.
And this is the message that I've got for you. Wherever those recipes are, whether they're in storage or up on the shelf, there's other things up there that will bring you healing. I don't know. There's other things with them. It feels like they're right next to things that will lend you healing and peace. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I'd love to have a big cookie recipe swap here. I would love it. But I think that folks need to. I think folks should absolutely understand the power in putting their hands on something that they can control, especially in the face of feeling futile. You know, if we feel like we can't do anything and we feel like we're stuck and we can't do anything, it's important to do that. So thank you, Debbie. Manage your capacity, the capacity of your heart, please. I think that's important for you. I'm going to put you on mute. I'm going to go to Brenda.
Thank you.
And you're very welcome. Thank you for being here. So Brenda, hi. Interestingly enough, this is my message for you. Trust this, please. There are people in your past, people who would have hurt you or caused pain to the people that you love. I'm not sure you're ever going to see how they would have suffered, but I need you to know that they have. I need you to know that they would have paid for their heartache and the hurt and the pain that they would have caused. I think that oftentimes we hope for justice. We hope that people who inflict pain intentionally find a way to find justice, find the consequence for their actions. I'm not sure you're ever going to see it as tangible evidence, but Brenda, my message for you is that there are people from your past who have definitely paid for the things that they've done. Again, I could say a million different things to you right now, but I need you to know that there are people in your past that have caused pain and heartache to people intentionally, and they have been served up a big, hot, heaping dish of karma.
Thank you.
And do you wonder about that?
Not too much. I kind of trust in karma. I try not to
Would you say that
think
again?
about things I can't. I try to trust in karma. I try to not think about things I can't do anything about.
I love that. I really appreciate that. I'm supposed to tell you that the way it's kind of like, it's not exactly how in Eastern traditions karma works. Cause and effect or consequences for our actions. You've got to know, even though you might not be paying attention to it or worrying about it, those are things that have happened. And you'll at least see it from the world of spirit when you get there. Okay. There's a reason why I'm having this message with you, Brenda, because as I'm talking to you, I see like, how do I say, like camo on you, like camo, and camo is the symbol to me for trauma, like PTSD, like somebody who's been through it. So wherever in your life you've been through it or picked up some sort of trauma, whoever would have inflicted that intentionally on you or yours, they've paid for it. That's not only a message for you, that's a message for other people who would have wondered the same. Okay. The other thing for you, Brenda, I'm getting is, I'm not sure if you've heard me mention before, a Shakti mat, acupressure. So it's an acupressure mat, SHAKTI. Looks like a little yoga mat, has white discs with points on them where you lay on it for a few minutes. It hurts you. Okay. It's like sort of like the Hindu bed of nails, but it's something that will cause blood flow in your muscles. And I think that you would benefit greatly from it. So the back, neck, shoulder things for you should be, think acupressure. I think it's worth the $40 on Amazon to get one of these mats to experiment with it. And it looks like you're
Cheeky.
frozen. So
Yeah, you
on my
too.
side, you're frozen, Brenda. I'm not sure what's going on. I hope you heard that message about the Shakti mat, the acupressure, what have you. Please come back and revisit it. Ice or neck stuff, whatever it is, take care of your physical self. You know, you got one body, take care of it, please. Especially like you might want to experiment sitting on the Shakti mat with a bare bum, because there's something about like sciatica nerve pain, something like that. I would have you experiment with the Shakti mat. Do you get the sciatica? Do you get the sciatica?
I have a fracture in my like L4. It's a small fracture, but it feels like sciatica.
Okay, experiment with the Shakti mat. Experiment with the acupressure, please. Okay.
SAK. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sue. Shocky. Got it.
Yeah, probably were $40 when I bought it a few years ago. Who knows what they are now? But why don't you order one before the tariffs take place?
Or is it too late? Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. Hop on there. Get yourself one of
Yeah, I
those.
will.
Okay. Experiment. All right. Thank you for that. I'm going to mute you. Here we go. Sue, thank you for contributing. 29 plus. Perfect. Okay. So, taking a look here at the people that are still left in this hoorah. Okay. So, hi, Marisol. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Actually, I look at your face. Why not? Let's do it. Unmute yourself, please. Here we go. Okay.
Does it work? Can you hear me?
There we are.
Okay.
There we are. Hi, Marisol.
Hi.
Okay. So here we are. I smell ethnic cooking. I smell spices, and there's a reason why. Okay. There's part of you, I believe, that's a kitchen witch. Okay. A kitchen witch, like cooking with spices, cooking. Do you cook spices? I'm getting spices in the air. I'm getting all of that. Okay. I need you to cook with
Love food.
intention. And it's interesting. It's interesting that we would go from Debbie with the cookies and Brenda with the cookies and Marisol with the cooking. Okay. What I get, oh my gosh, you got an altar in your house. Yeah. Got an altar in your house? Okay. What I need you to know is this, whatever house spirits you have, whatever house spirits you're cooking for, whatever's going on, you are delighting them with your cooking. Okay. You're delighting them with your cooking. But the other thing too is this: you sell yourself short. You could use some protein in the morning. I think it's appropriate for you to consider having a little bit of eggs or something in the morning, especially if you're combating fatigue. And please, 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 please. Ah, my gosh, please. Hotter the better. Spices, hot, spicy food. Hot, spicy food. I need you to cook with that. Um, and
We
as
have so many
interestingly,
peppers growing right now. It's ridiculous in our garden. I have some, excuse me,
okay,
we
so you're
have
gonna end up
ghost
cooking with them.
peppers. Yeah, we're trying to actually make hot sauce at home with the ghost peppers. So it's interesting you said that.
You know how in some traditions we light incense, yes, like for we light incense, okay, as offerings to spirits and to please them, what have you. Your incense are what you're cooking, the spices. Cook with them, cook with them. I feel like the spirits around you love this, and it's interesting because I believe whatever, the more traditional that you can do, the better. Okay, the more traditional that you can do, the better. Also, on top of this, I'm gonna pass along a little bit of frustration from your spirits. Okay, a little bit of frustration from your spirits. Here's why. Don't take this. This is not like we're not judging you, but we're assessing you here in this way. Stop selling yourself short. Stop selling yourself short. When I keep talking to people that they have this incredible light and the world is better for their light, you actively diminish yourself. When I was talking to Mary Ellen about her imposter syndrome, you are riddled with it. Do you know this about yourself? What is a life going to look like if you can't believe in yourself? This is all about faith. You can have faith in spirits, you can have faith in ancestors and angels and all the other spirits that are around us, and we should. But what faith, how is that faith going to help us if we don't have faith in ourselves? And I need you to have faith in yourself. And here's the question that I need to ask you. And this is a question for everybody. If you had a daughter who was born into your life and been through everything that you've been through, and that daughter turned her life into what you've turned your life into, would you be proud of that daughter? You absolutely would be proud of that daughter. And I need you to see that. I need you to be proud of yourself. I need you to be proud of yourself, and I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to have faith in yourself in the way that you would encourage every other human being to have faith in themselves. Do you got that? Okay, that's your message. Thank you for that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your energy, because you have to know that your energy contributes to those around you. It doesn't detract from those around you. Okay, so I'm going to put you on mute, and I'm going to ask
Thank you.
Elizabeth without the R to unmute herself, because I have a strange message for Elizabeth. Elizabeth, where everybody's shifting around on my screen here. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Did she jump out?
No, I'm here.
Wave your hand, Elizabeth. Hi.
Hi.
There you go. You brought the video up and it
I did.
shifted. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm so sick, but I wanted to be here.
No. Thank you for that. No, thank you for that, because this is important. Remember, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Okay. Oh my gosh. Do you have a haunted house?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And
Yeah.
yeah, I do. And it's been
Okay.
years of different things going on. And you would think that a house built in 1987 wouldn't have that issue, but since some relatives have passed, we definitely have a haunted house.
Deborah, I'm sorry that I couldn't get to your husband. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Okay, she had to fly. I was supposed to go back to her husband. Elizabeth, here's the message that I have for you. So it's not necessarily human spirits.
Okay.
And this is important. So 1987, most often when people are thinking that they have a haunted house, what they've got is a case of pissed off land spirits.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is why I would know that you have a haunted house, because I'm going to give you a little bit of magic to mitigate it. Okay.
Okay.
May I ask you, do you have somebody in your house that does not sleep well?
Yeah. Yep. I do.
Okay. I'm going to give you some traditional magic to
Okay.
help mitigate this. Okay. And I'm going to suggest that you do this. And when you do it, don't ever take it down. Okay.
Okay.
I need you to get a holy Bible, and I
I've
need
got
you to
one.
open it to Psalm 91.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is not the thing about the Psalms is it's not necessarily a Christian thing, because the Psalms are far older than Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. They're very ancient, powerful spells. Open a holy Bible to Psalm 91. Take, oh, you might even have these from an ancestor. Take a metal pair of shears,
Okay.
like scissors, like like, the big metal scissors.
Yep.
Okay. Open the Bible to Psalm 91, place an open set of scissors on that, and put it under the bed.
Okay.
Okay. You might see a little bit of what I'm getting is like grinding teeth, like a little bit of the
Oh
anxiety, a
yeah.
little bit of like the anger go down.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that I'm going to have you do too, because 1987, here's something that our ancestors would have done thousands of years ago, made offerings to the land, traditional offerings to the land. We don't do that when we dig holes to build foundations.
Yeah.
Here, locally in Littleton, they're destroying this big rocky outcrop that sat like, and I'm like, they have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're upsetting, but there's something in the land there that's not liking what they're doing. I'm going to ask you to do this because you have nothing to lose but a little bit of maple
Sure.
syrup.
Yep.
I need you to go get a bottle of maple syrup, and I need you to walk around your house with maple syrup, pouring it out and making an offering to the land spirits, and make a circle of maple syrup around your house and pray into the ground that we're your friends. We're sorry for anything that's ever happened here before, and maybe consider putting up a new birdhouse or birdhouses. Feed the birds.
We do have a lot of bird feeding going on. And when after my father passed, we started getting cardinals. We never had cardinals before. And today is the 14th anniversary of his passing. So even though I'm sick, I really wanted to be here because this is the anniversary, and I felt like, it matters.
Okay, it does matter. My question is, when I hear put up a new birdhouse, do you need to put up a new birdhouse or birdhouses in general?
I have a new birdhouse that I got for Christmas that I'm going to be putting up.
You're going to be putting up.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we have some, and we've got bird feeders, but I've got a brand new one to go up when it gets a little bit nicer out.
Have you created a memorial garden for your dad yet?
My mom has, and I
Your
haven't
mom.
done one, but I definitely, yeah, he's definitely all about that. So, yeah.
I'm going to ask you to consider planting a blue spruce for him.
Oh, yeah. He loved blue spruce. It was his favorite, which is just, full circle.
There we are.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The other message that I would have for you is this. Thank you for not being like the people in his family that bring him a level of shame.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there are some people that are here that make him a little bit sad.
Yeah.
Okay. Just through their behavior, they're self-abusive or what have you. Thank you for not being that. But mitigate the land spirits. You don't happen to live near a mine, do you?
No, but I am up on a hill, on a mountain. It's all rock. So I don't know,
You're up on a hill, all rock. Here's something that I would have you do for me, please. On my website, I have a blog section. Okay. You click on the blog, it'll bring you to my Substack page. I've been writing for over a year. There's an article that I'd like you to read called The Angry Mountain.
Okay.
Okay. Just read it so you understand that I don't think that you have I don't think that you have human spirits. I think you have a different kind of spirit. And that
Yeah.
thing that I recommended with the Bible. Okay.
Yeah.
Please go in that direction. All
I know
right.
my daughter will be happy to hear it because she's she doesn't live here now, but there have been some really weird things that have happened over the years.
Yeah, so important for you to hear. Now, thank you for being here. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna put you on mute because I think that I have Charlie, Susie, Jake, and Sandy to go to, but I'm being pulled to the Charlie, Susie, Jake square. So, Charlie, Susie, Jake, you still here with us? Or did you fall asleep?
We're here.
Yeah, we're
here.
still here. Yeah.
You're here. Charlie, Susie, Jake. All right, perfect. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Is there a Susie there?
Yes.
Yeah, she's just off camera. She's off camera.
She's on camera. Okay. Here's a message for Susie, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to give everybody here a message in this way, but I've got a message for Susie. I'm drawn to Susie's name. Could you tilt the camera and point me to Susie a little bit, if you could, please? Or get her on camera. Thank you, Mary Ellen, for being here. Hi. Hi, Susie.
Hi.
Here's an interesting message for you. Okay. And remember, take everything that I have to say with a grain of salt. Thank you for being Goldilocks. Thank you for being Goldilocks. Now, Goldilocks and the Three Bears would have been a person who had to have it just right. You know, like not too hot, not too cold, not too hard, not too soft. I feel Susie I feel compelled to acknowledge the work that you do. I feel compelled to acknowledge the work of the angels that you do. Okay, so you're working on some sort of higher benefit. You're working from a place of love and hope. But I also have to recognize the efforts that you put into making everything just right for the people around you. Are you a caregiver? Are you a nurturer?
I work in a preschool.
You work in preschool. Okay. Are Charlie and Jake your family, friends? What
Yeah, they're my family. Uh-huh.
Your family. Okay. Do you put indelible effort into making things perfect, just right for the people in your life?
I tried to. I feel like I fall short.
Well, interesting that I would have to acknowledge you for this. One, I have to acknowledge you for the efforts and the work of the angels that you're doing, but also the fact that your Goldilocks attitude of trying to make it just right. Sometimes being like the Goldilocks can be sometimes like the negative imbalanced form of Goldilocks is like that prissy attitude. I gotta have it just right. I gotta have it just perfect. That's not you. It's the opposite of it. It's the balanced, positive Goldilocks energy. Okay. And the contributions that you make to the people around you need to be recognized. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to these messages. And make sure that you are touching base with your capacity. Okay. So I feel called to give you this mantra that I think a lot of people should hear. Serve yourself, not at the expense of others. You got that. Serve others, not at the expense of yourself. So there's this fine line between being a martyr and being a savior. You know, put all your efforts into being a savior, making things just right for folks. Make sure that you don't fall into an imbalanced place and martyr yourself through that process. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you for that. Also, I feel called to tell you this as well. Were you here you must have been because I didn't let anybody in late. But were you here when I was talking to the keeper of memories? That idea of holding on to the memories, holding on to the pictures, all of that. I would ask you, if you are that, to put a little bit more effort into, the photo albums and the record keeping and all of that.
Yeah, we have a dresser behind us full of photos.
Would you put some effort into organizing them and putting them into photo albums and writing down Uncle Henry or Aunt Jane or those sorts of things, to put a little bit more organization and structure to the memories that you are keeping in a sacred way?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Perfect. Thank you for being here. And finally, I think the one that's left over is Sandy. So I'm going to put you guys on mute. Thank you for being here. And I think Sandy is... okay, hold on. I got to go back to Charlie, Susie, Jake. Charlie, Susie, Jake. I got to go back to Charlie, Susie, Jake. I wasn't done. I apologize. Here's a message for, is it Charlie?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Charlie, around you, I have a distinct sense of... May I ask you, Charlie, do you come from Catholics at all?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a distinct sense of like a holy man or holy people, like holy people that would have like... Not all Catholics are holy. Obviously, we know this. But I feel the mark of the Catholicism on them. I feel this men in your life that need to acknowledge you for being a man of integrity and honor and marching to the beat of your own drum. I do not believe that you're I do not believe that you're a practicing Catholic, but I do believe that you are a practicing holy man. That you have a sense of sacredness about you and that you bring that to the world. That needs to be recognized in the same way that I have to recognize your wife. Is that Susie, your wife?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got to recognize that in you. Okay. So thank you for holding on to those values of integrity and honor and devotion and love. It's seen. Okay. It's seen. So thank you for that. I'm going to go to Sandy. All right. Sandy, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. And if you wouldn't mind turning on your video so I can see a lovely face.
Should be on.
I hope they...
No?
Ask to start video. There we go.
I'm sorry. I think I don't. Well, I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
I don't see where I could do that.
Sandy.
Yes.
That's all right. I don't need to see your face to share this message for you. Oh, there you are. Hello. Hello. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Okay. So it's fascinating to me that I would have started out this session by calling it like the popcorn episode. I got a popcorn from one person to the next, to the next, to the next. Okay. For you, Sandy, when I get connected to you, your square, your energy, your name, I have this distinct smell of popcorn. Now, let me tell you what that means when it comes from spirit. Popcorn is that message of like watching movies, connecting to movies, okay? Connecting to movies, escaping a little bit in those movies. What I get for you as I'm connected to you is this. Are there any old black and white movies that you're connected to from your childhood or you remember from parents, grandparents?
No, not that I can think of.
No.
No.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I get this message that movies from your past, from your childhood, things that would bring you a deep sense of nostalgia, perhaps. Can you recall the very first movie that you might have seen in a movie theater? If you can recall that, I would have you watch that particular movie. If you haven't been to a movie theater in a long time, I would have you go watch a movie, go escape in the cinema, enjoy perhaps a popcorn snack. I just get the sense of popcorn for you so much.
Okay.
I know, might not make sense to you, but it's something that you need to hear in terms of. May I ask, when I was talking to Debbie about being in constant witness, bearing witness to the pain of others,
Yes.
are you there as well?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm going to ask you for just a moment to set it all down, to go to the
Okay.
movies, to take a break from bearing witness to the suffering of others, especially if bearing witness to the suffering of others does nothing to ease that suffering and only increases your own.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Also,
about right.
please, please. Okay, a couple of things here around physical health. Are you getting cramps in your calves at all?
Yes, we were just talking about that this morning.
Okay. I'm connected to you and I'm tasting bananas. And when I taste bananas, that's a connection of potassium. I think that you could benefit from having a little potassium, magnesium. I'm also getting that you need a good massage. I'm seeing like the massage oil, like massage your body. You need a good massage. You need to take care of the potassium. Please understand the difference between being a savior and being a martyr. Do not martyr yourself to the pain and the terrors and the turmoils of other people.
Okay.
Okay. Interestingly, I'm seeing, and I don't know if you have a connection to this movie, but I do, being a kid of the 90s. I love Forrest Gump. I love Forrest Gump. Do you remember Forrest Gump, the Tom Hanks movie?
I do. Yes, I
Okay.
do.
It's impossible for me to listen to even the soundtrack or the music that plays without crying. That movie just tears me up in all the great ways. And it's interesting that Forrest Gump represents that perennial fool, that they have that sense of
Mm-hmm.
optimism, and that sense of hope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being guided to ask you to please consider watching Forrest Gump. If you've ever felt connected to that movie, or perhaps there are some life lessons or some wisdom in there that you can benefit from. The world is going
I
to
have
be
a son
okay
with
if you.
special needs, and
I love that. I love that. I don't mean to interrupt you,
I
but
have a son who
I
has
just.
special needs, and he reminds me a lot of some of the problems Forrest Gump has gone through are similar.
I love that. Okay. I'm going to ask you to check out for a good 90 minutes and that the world will be okay if you can watch a movie for 90 minutes. All right. Weirdly,
Okay.
I'm seeing a movie from my past in the 80s. I don't know why. And it's a comedy. I haven't heard or thought of this movie in years, but a movie that's popping into my head is the movie with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn called Overboard. Do you remember that
I've
movie
heard of
from
it,
the
but I haven't
80s?
seen it.
Okay.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen it. I remember hearing about it, I guess.
I think a little trip down memory lane, a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of escape is going to be okay. And I want you to see that as heart medicine to dive into that, okay?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
All right.
All right. So I think that I touched base with everybody, and that was my popcorn episode. We've done here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I need to thank everybody for being here. I thank everybody for contributing to this and the energy that we brought collectively here together. I hope everybody gets something out of their little message. I hope everybody gets something out of the messages that other people got. And I just want to encourage everybody here to live your best life. Live your best life, please, as much as possible, because it only lasts for a little while. Now, I will end this session with this. If anybody is interested in any of the services that I provide, this episode was sponsored by me. Okay. So you can find me online at joshsimons.com. I'm offering some love tarot readings until the end of the month, what have you. All of the support, all of your love makes all the difference in my life. And you got to know that. So thank you for being here. And I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.